What's up guys, today we're going to be doing some self-portraits. All you're going to need is a backdrop, a camera with a self-timer, a tripod, some sort of light, a blacked out room, and that's about it. Wait, no! So pull up a chair, get a drink, let's get into this one. So firstly I measured a meter away from the camera because that's the minimum focusing distance on my Fuji. Then I blacked out the room as best as I could because all I want is the light source affecting the image. Then I put on my shirt and tie because, you know, we're making an effort. So the first lighting setup is called a clamshell setup, and it gets its name because you kind of create a clamshell with the softbox and the reflector. So all the shots you're about to see were done by myself. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend getting either a reflector holder or getting someone to help you. This becomes a lot more evident in the later shots. You'll see why. This setup is very soft. It's very flattering. It creates a nice little highlight around the jaw as it, as it fills in the shadows underneath the chin. The second setup is the fake ring light. What's important here is to make sure that the softbox is in line with the camera and that the talent's face is in line with the camera and the softbox. So this is called a sort of fake ring light. This setup is quite similar to the clamshell one. What this setup should give you is sort of like a halo kind of effect around the outline of your talent. It's probably not as evident here because I wasn't able to get that backdrop far enough behind me just because of the limitations of my living room. Ideally, if I had a lot more space, I'd set that backdrop maybe a meter, maybe even 2 meters further behind me, just so that I would get that really nice halo effect. But even then, I'm still really happy with the way this looks. The third setup, I don't know what it's called, but I'm just going to call it the kicker reflector setup. So this is obviously a bird's eye view of the floor plan. So we have the reflector on one side of the talent's face at an angle, and we have the light source behind the talent at an angle, but we want it to be directly hitting the reflector. And the idea is that you get this nice harsh sort of highlight on one side of the talent's face. It separates the talent from the background, but then the reflector should fill in those harsh shadows and sort of illuminate the other side of the talent's face. So this is exactly one of those situations where I wish I had someone helping me out or a reflector holder. This is me using my foot to see if I was getting enough reflection off the reflector. Spoilers, there wasn't enough reflection. So this is actually what they looked like. Basically, the reflector was just too far away from my face. I managed to recover some detail in post by just dodging those certain areas, but ideally I would have brought that reflector a lot closer to me and I would have filled in those shadows a lot better. And the last setup is called a Rembrandt light setup. It's probably the easiest one as well. So you want the light source to be quite close to the talent, about a meter and at about a 45-degree angle from the talent. And you want the light to be about maybe a meter above the talent's face and pointing down at it at a 45-degree angle. And this is how you get that famous triangle of light on the face that the painter Rembrandt made famous. So I just want to quickly show you this photo because this is what the Kicker reflector lighting setup should have produced. So as you can see here, we get a really dynamic sort of lighting setup. So the sun in this case acts as the Kicker, as it's behind Claire's face, and it creates a really nice harsh highlight sort of outline around her and separates her really nicely from the background. And the door in this case, you can see the door actually acts as the reflector. It fills in the left side of her face, which would have been in the shadow and would have been completely dark. But since it's so close to her face, it acts as a reflector and creates a really nice glow. And I love this setup because it's so simple, but it creates a really dynamic, really interesting, complex sort of lighting setup. But you only just use one light and one reflector. And if you're wondering how I got this shot, it was purely just spur of the moment. We were on our way out to do something and the light was hitting her perfectly, and I asked her just to stand still whilst I took this photo. I am a massive proponent of having a camera with you at all times, no matter what the situation, because you just never know when the light is going to hit just perfectly. So today's video was actually inspired by Beck and Chris's video on one light setups. They do a far better job of explaining each lighting setup and sort of the reason why you use one over another. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you're wondering what camera I was using my Fuji GS645S. The strobe I was using was actually a speed light, it's actually the Godox V1. If you're wondering where I got the backdrop, links for everything will be downstairs in the description. Hope you enjoyed that. Plenty more videos to come. If you enjoyed this one, say something nice in the comments down below. Follow me on Instagram at Zain Shoots Film. Check out my portfolio at zainreasons.com. With all that said and done, boys and girls, keep learning, keep shooting. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
And now they looking at me sideways. I'm like, nah. This is where I want